In this video I'm going to explain the different types of stresses that we could find when working in the workshop with objects or structures. Okay, the stresses are the different kinds of force that will apply to our structures and could deform or break it. So there are mainly 5 different types, which will be the first one, compression. Compression will be to the force applying on the same sense, but on opposite directions, like you can see in this image. So since they tend to get closer, the object will get shorter but wider. The opposite to compression would be traction. In traction, we will also have two different forces on the same sense but on opposite direction, but this time each force tends to get farther from the other. So this time they will result in the object getting longer but thinner. The next one will be bending. Bending is similar to compressions in the part that we have force applying on opposite direction and tend to get closer, but this time the force won't be in the same sense, so they will apply to different parts of the object. So, as the name implies, they will tend to bend our object or structure. Next will be torsion. The torsion is the kind of stress that we will find when working with rotational movement. As you can see in this image, when rotational movement of different directions apply to the same object, they tend to curve the object or deform the object like you can see in the image. And the next one will be shear. Shear will be similar to bend or compression effort, but this time the strength won't be in the same sense, but will be closer than in bending. So instead of bending the object, they will tend to cut it. Okay, so now we are going to see some examples of these efforts. So with this one, we are starting with traction. Where will traction be applied in this kind of a structure, in this bridge? Okay, in this bridge, traction will be applied on each one of the wires that support the bridge. So the wires support the lower part of the bridge in order for that to not fall, and they are on the upper part. So the force will be applied like this. Another example of traction would be a crane or a trailer. In the case of the crane, each one of the wires too has supports a traction stress, and in the case of the trailer, since the car is movement and is pulling the trailer, it will be also a traction stress, since they are in different efforts made in different in opposite directions, but that tends to get farther from each other. Let's go with compression. In this ancient building, where would we find compression? Where? Compression could be found, for example, in each one of the columns of the object, because the column supports the weight of the roof of the building. So that's the reason they support the upper part and that makes the compression effort. Or an example will be whenever we are pushing an object. When we push, we project a force in the direction of pushing, but the object that by its own weight will make a force opposing to ours. So it will also be compression. Okay, we will continue on the next video.